I'd like to introduce our superintendent, Ms. Nancy Tadikin.
Abby, you may have cried like a baby at the DARE graduation. I hope I don't cry like a baby at the senior graduation for the class of 2013. I address most of my remarks to our graduates this evening, but really to all of you as well. I was visibly moved back in May when the senior class officers came to my office and invited me to be part of their commencement ceremony. I was touched. This is my 32nd commencement. I don't believe any other group of students came and invited me to share their evening with them the way you did. And I appreciate it. And then after I thought about the honor, I also thought about the responsibility. And I said, what do I say to a great group of young men and women? There's so many things I've had an opportunity to share with you over all your years in Edgemont. Once my emotions subsided a bit, I started to really think about the message. I suspect that as I embark and you embark on the next phases of our lives, we're experiencing many of the same emotions. Many of you have been in Edgemont your entire lives. Although I have not, it's incredibly difficult for me to think of not being in Edgemont after next week. And it's even harder for me to think that there may be a life after Edgemont. Like you, I've learned here in Edgemont. Like you, I've grown here in Edgemont. And like most of you, I've loved almost every minute of my time here in Edgemont. Almost. Edgemont has been my home away from home, and I know it's been the home away from home, and Abby spoke that beautifully, that Edgemont is all of you. Last night, my colleagues gave me yet another celebration, and I shared with them a memory of my childhood when my parents would read to me poems from Robert Frost. Specifically, I recalled The Death of the Hired Man, when Warren was talking with Mary about home. As I recall, Warren said, home is the place where, when you have to go there, they have to take you in. And Mary countered, I should have called it something you somehow haven't to deserve. Often during my years in Edgemont, and particularly during this home stretch, I found myself asking, what did I do to deserve such a wonderful home away from home in this special place called Edgemont? I'm blessed, as is each of you, to call Edgemont home, albeit in a slightly different way from the way all of you have enjoyed it. And then, of course, the conscience in the back of my head reminded me of what my parents would say when I said how lucky I was to have a home away from home called Edgemont. They would tell me that with each special gift comes a responsibility, an opportunity to express appreciation and to share that gift with other people who may not have what all of us have had. So tonight, I think it important for me to thank all of you students and the students who came before you. Yes, some of your parents were students who I stood here and awarded diplomas to, many of them, and that's wonderful. I thank all of the students who come after you. You know that as teachers, we consider ourselves successful, or the new lingo, highly effective, if our students surpass their teachers. Many of you have already surpassed us in your wisdom, your knowledge, your experiences. Some may not yet have come to that point, but all of you have exceptional promise. On this, your special evening, I encourage each of you to thank the special people in your lives. As Abby has already mentioned, those people who have enjoyed and enabled you to have the gift of Edgemont as your home. Your classmates, your parents, grandparents, siblings, other family members, and of course the wonderful teachers who have helped bring you to where you are today. Because of Edgemont's small size, you know virtually every member of your class, you know your faculty members, you know community members, underclassmen, and those who graduated before you. I urge you to stay in touch with the Edgemont that you carry with you. The long-term friendships that you have already formed and established will serve you well when you need to rely on trusted friends. And speaking of trusted friends, I encourage you, as Abby already did, to thank the parents and grandparents, without whose sacrifices you may not be sitting here on this beautiful campus on this beautiful evening. Please also don't forget to thank the superb elementary and secondary teachers who taught you how to read, write, do arithmetic, draw, sing, stay fit. Teachers who guided you skillfully over the years in mastering increasingly difficult and sophisticated subject matter and skills. You have had the very good fortune, as have I, of experiencing learning under the tutelage of some of the finest educators in the country. After you leave, I applaud our faculty and thank you for joining me. After you leave Edgemont, share some of the specialness of this place with those who have not had the gifts that you and I have had here. As I move on to life after Edgemont, and as each of you moves on to your lives after Edgemont, bring part of the special gifts that each of us has received, and hard as it is for me to fathom, and I suspect for some of you to fathom, we all know that there is really a life after Edgemont, albeit a life that will forever be influenced by the amazing experiences that we have had here. I have three final thoughts that fit where my head and my heart are tonight, and I hope that will fit yours as well. When my parents were reading Robert Frost, I preferred Winnie the Pooh as a child. I know at least one of the graduating seniors will also relate to this, because my first thought is how lucky we are to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard. My second thought is a message to the seniors. Promise me you'll always remember you're braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. And my final thought this evening is one that my late husband delivered at a commencement speech on this campus more than 20 years ago. He said then, the greatest gift of all is to love and be loved. I hope that each of you feels as loved as I have felt here in Edgemont, because you are, by your parents and families, by your teachers, by the community as a whole, and certainly by the administrators who have been blessed to care for you. And I hope that in the days and years ahead, you share the love you have felt here in Edgemont by bringing it to others. Thanks to all of you. Good luck. You make Edgemont proud.